Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure, and armor their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar. Dramatic sound of the awesome end of the video. What's going on, everyone? Welcome all. Welcome Arvanauts to a Tuesday stream. Welcome to the first Tuesday in June. It is June 3rd, 2025. The first official month of summer, although summer has not started yet. It's not officially starting until June 21st. But we are officially in the home stretch of spring and getting ready for some summer. So I hope everyone is excited for, for hot TTRPG summer. I hope you're all excited for that, as I am. Beginning with a cold and dreadful story about witches and a great serpent that threatens to swallow the world. What better way to start the summer? We will get rolling with that in just a second. Before I do so, a couple of reminders about way to support the channel. If you have not done so, meteorological summer has begun. Solar summer has not yet begun. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Solar summer has not yet begun. So we have to wait for hot meteorological summer. For hot solar summer to begin. I hope everyone is doing well. Just a couple of notes on how to get things started and support the channel here. If you have not done so already, as my cats freaking flip out. Hey, you two, it'd be nice if you can't destroy each other and the house while you're running around, okay? Okay. They're looking at me, and one of them is scratching their ear. So I guess that means they understand. If you have not already done so, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube and follow me over there. Every new subscriber there, remember, is a new record. We're up to 1,104 subscribers there. Every new one is a new record, so please do jump on board and support us over there. It's free for you to do that, but it really does help us out, and you can get all the content from YouTube there that way. !ArvTube for that. !ArvCord is the Discord channel where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Please join us over there. That's true. The pay-per-view cat match, the problem is that my camera is not flexible enough for me to be, I'd have to take it off the stand so I could get the close movements of these two athletes like challenging each other. Anyway, ! Arvtreon is the Patreon. Okay, they are currently battling each other near the cat tree. Now they're running behind my books. ! Let's see, ArvCord. Oh, yes. The social media. That's what I wanted to talk about. ! ArvTweets is my Twitter. Blue Sky, ! ArvSky, which is my Blue Sky. That is what I'm pushing people towards, because once I get to 1,000 followers over on Blue Sky, I am going to close down my Twitter account permanently. I will still keep it open because I don't want anyone to use it, but I am going to be not posting on Twitter anymore, and I'll be posting on Blue Sky. I'm looking forward to that with fondness and great excitement and anticipation. So please support us on the Blue Sky, !Arv Sky. Website for all this, arvanelaron.com. Financially, !Arv Treon is the Patreon. Trying to get that number up to triple digits. Unique stuff for you and for the channel. Subbing to the channel is always appreciated as well. You get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. So please sub and support the Patreon if you can. On the publishing front, Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Library is my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And Greyshade is my Greyshade IP. Greyshade, Renegade, Heretic, my Grey Assassin trilogy, which is, for the love of God, what are you two doing? It's like full out kung fu is what we're like. Really, it's kung fu in this office right now. Anyway, let's see, where was I? Yes, Greyshade, that's my Greyshade IP. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, my Grey Assassin trilogy from Athos Arts, which, by the way, I should give Athos a shout out as well, because my publisher for Icarus and the Grey Assassin trilogy has a book called Faraway Dreaming by a Finnish artist, has now passed $20,000. In fact, I think it may have already hit $21,000. It funded within 27 hours. So they've done very well with that Kickstarter so far. And obviously, it's great to see Athos doing well. So definitely go over and check that out. I have backed this Kickstarter, and definitely check it out. It seems like a very cool and very chill art book involving dragons and some very peaceful storytelling. Even the video, even like the promo video for it is super chill. It's very, very calming. So definitely check that out. Maybe that's why it's doing so well, as people are like, calm, that sounds good. That's what I could use right now. So anyway, Greyshade for that. And then we have, what are you two? Good Lord. They're like, it's really stunning. I keep hearing through my headphones this like smack sound, and the smack sound is literally as their like claws are pulling on my carpet to get traction as they run after each other. Good Lord. Anyway, so the Grey Assassin trilogy you can get at that link. You can get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks at that link, and you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, which is currently sitting in edits from Alligator Alley Entertainment, designed by Brandon O'Brien. I'm very excited for that. That is going to be released at Gen Con, so we are only a couple of months away now from that release, and I'm going to be talking more about that in a couple of weeks, basically a little more than that. Maybe at the end of the month, I'm going to be starting to talk about that, because we'll only be about a month away from the official release of Greyshade. I'm very excited for that TTRPG, so you can pre-order that now. Excited to talk more about that as we go along. And as always, BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help, and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message that we are going to do so in the future in any kind of similar situation. And I don't know if anyone's been following the news, but Imaginary, I was thinking a little bit about you. It appears that, as Mark Twain once said, the rumors of Ukraine's imminent demise seem to have been greatly exaggerated, because it appears someone knows how to coordinate a spectacular military victory. And so, yeah. So congratulations to Ukraine. Keep it up. There's a long way to go. But as we've said many times on this channel, the people are behind you, whether or not the government got the memo. So always a pleasure to have Imaginary and everybody with us. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Okay, quick note, schedule today. Busy day of streaming. After I'm done with Beowulf today, yeah, a bit. Listen, after we do our stuff today on Beowulf, then at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be over on GOG.com with some Expeditions Rome. Very excited about that. Yeah, no kidding, Imaginary. Boy, I saw that and I'm like, that's pretty amazing. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, y'all, we have the conclusion of the Our Vocalist D&D one-shot. which has been a overwhelming success, or at least it was the first part of it, and that is Zach Clay, along with myself and the three other our vocalists, Rem Alternus and KP and Indy, playing tonight, as we are going to continue with the Our Vocalist one-shot. I'm excited for it. It was a lot of fun the first time, and we're going to keep on rolling tonight with the second part of that. So definitely you will want to check that out tonight with the Our Vocalists at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Thursday we've got some more Oblivion Remastered coming your way. So that's what we got going on. But right now what we have going on is my good friend Tari. So I'm going to unmute myself, let her know that we're ready to go. And then I'm going to unmute her. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to go over to reveal to you the person is here. She is here.
Hello.
She is ready. She exists.
I am here.
And she's all set. She's here. I am prepared. So yes, so welcome, Tari. We are here for day 18 of Beowulf Age of Heroes, part 5 of the Witches and the Wyrm, and all that stuff. Oh, and I should mention as well,
Wait, day 18. Oh, you're also counting the ones who trended.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah, all the days
I'm
together.
Like,
yeah.
It says 15 for me here.
Yeah, we had a
book.
few days that were not you. That's all early on, until it became a all Tari all the time show.
Beowulf.
Yeah, look at that. So hi Tom, good to see you as well. But yes, I should mention to everyone, by the way, that the behind me, my office is looking much cleaner because I mailed a bunch of ARFCON reward stuff today, including stuff to Norway and to Canada. I'm still waiting to send something off to Greece because these winners. I'm here to tell you that the shipping to Norway being twice as much as what I'm shipping to Norway was a little bit of a, he's like, this is going to be $70. I'm like, okay, I will pay that. Boy, Jesus. Shipping to Europe, I'll tell you, is the thing. And I imagine going the other way is just as bad. It's
depends.
Really?
Yeah, like I noticed, like from the Netherlands, it's like as long as like letters in letter form.
Okay.
Because like then everything costs the same out of country. Like it costs for me the same to ship to send a letter to Germany as it does to the US.
But this is too big for a letter for sure.
Right. Like, yeah. Like with packages, I'm unsure.
Yeah. It was one of those things. I'm like, you know what? It's good. I was like, it's for charity. I'll hold over my credit card. But anyway, so I'm very happy that this stuff. You bought a bunch of photo postcards to Glasgow so I could get friends and acquaintances some of my photography. Yeah. I just was like, oh my God. But anyway, I have shipped out rewards to people. One of those rewards is going to Prince Justin, who is domestic, so it was considerably cheaper than that. And so a lot of rewards have been sent out. There's a few left to be sent out, but they're almost all done. Then ARFCON will be done for another year. But again, super happy about how well it all went. And a week from tomorrow, y'all, I'm going to New York with Mrs. Arv to be part of the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation annual breakfast, to which I have been invited as a, quote, friend of Damon Runyon. So I am excited for that. Yeah, it's business attire too. I gotta break out the suit. Even my vest will not be enough. So I gotta. They're like, So I'm like, okay, I gotta pull it all together. So I'm excited for that because it's it's a special thing for me. So, but anyway, also special to me is Tari. So Tari, it's good to see you. How's everything with you in your neck of the woods, and how you feeling about maybe close to the end of this particular adventure today? Maybe how you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think this has been a good length for an adventure. And I hope that Fifa lives through this one.
Yeah, so
that would be nice.
She like every one of them just dies, and the next one somehow is resurrected every time. So they're just like, I will remember the memory. I will remember the memory.
I am not Bob the Barbarian. No, I am his long-lost twin brother, Bart the Barbarian.
But exactly, Rob the Barbarian.
Who looks exactly the same and has exactly the same stats.
Yeah, Bobbert, exactly, bit, yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, as far as I'm being don't ask, it's like the government falling apart and everything. It's like... I mean, fuck Geertrudes. For those unawares, like the Dutch government officially has fallen apart earlier today. If I saw that right, might have been last night. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Because of like what is basically our closest equivalent that we have to Trump. That's like basically who Geert Wilders is. A horrible, horrible person, notorious person. And yeah, like his party was like part of the current coalition that formed past tense
Yeah.
the Dutch government.
They pulled out.
And like they pulled out, which I mean, on one hand is good, but on the other hand, I don't know,
I mean, I'd be careful what you wish for. If he looks at all the
Yeah,
other
basically.
countries having elections that have been like, I don't want that, looking at the U.S., maybe
Or
now's not the
Germany.
right yes, but now I would look at them and be like, now's not the time to maybe be going back to the voters who are going to be like, F that, so.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but like also, like happened earlier this year with Germany, like government fell apart basically in a similar fashion. Like not like the FDP didn't pull out of the government, but they were fired effectively.
Yeah.
For being, hey, you guys are being a bit too Nazi, a bit too Elon Musk nutsuckers. So yeah, that's why that fell apart. And now we have a literal Nazi as a chancellor, which is fucking fantastic. But
tremendous. Well,
this
besides
is fine.
that,
Everything is fine. Fine.
Yeah, bestvoters.democracy.com. That's funny, but yeah, goodbye, bot. Well, besides, so that yes, and I, as we talked about, I'm, in the green room, I am sorry that has happened. However, as I pointed out to Tari, this is an opportunity to present an alternative vision of how people that richly deserve justice receive said justice. I'm just saying, this is a chance to sort of think about what the world would be like if we did the things that I'm assuming Tari's character is about to do. And speaking of Tari's character, who are you playing, Tari? See how I did that? That's very...
Yeah, I see how you did that, but like now all I'm thinking of is like Viking raids and shit like that. Let's
well,
go
I mean,
raping and pillaging. And
okay, not maybe
like that,
maybe all right, yeah, no. Genevieve is different, built different.
Well, she's also not a Viking,
right? So it's fine.
Or Norse.
Yeah, very progressive now.
She's from an area that got Vikinged.
Viking. It's funny. You've been Vikinged. That's not a term I had heard.
Viking is a verb, actually, not a noun. Like the noun is vikinger.
I don't think I knew. I don't think I knew that.
That's why it ends on an ing. It's like the same as in English.
Well, yeah.
The words ends on an ing. It's a verb. Like you're going Viking. Like hiking. Literally is this like.
You never go full Viking.
Like I mean, apparently you do. But that's why it's like such a misnomer to call it like the Vikings, right? Because there never was such a thing as the Vikings, because being a Viking is a job description, not a people group.
Right.
And even then, it's like a part-time job description. I don't think there were a lot of Vikings full-time. Like most of them were just like doing Vikinging during the summer, then like did regular work.
A lot of temp Vikings.
Yeah,
I had a big.
Most of them, yeah.
I had my friends and I used to do a comedy podcast many years ago called The Mep Report, and we had one sort of subject of an entire episode was, would it be possible to be a pacifist Viking? And I was kind of like, no. And they were like,
no.
But they were like, no, but, and he's like, no, because there might be one guy who's like the bartender who, so anyways, it was very funny because at a certain point we had this image of like everyone carrying an axe on their belt, but some people don't like to use it. Instead, they just use it to cut herbs and stuff. And I was like, I just don't. So anyway, so all right. So you've all been. So Vikings.
Like the whole thing, they stopped being Vikings as soon as they're pacifists. You don't go into that kind of business.
Exactly. There was a Norse king whose name I don't remember now, who was a Norwegian king. Echo should be here to tell me, a pacifist king who like got a lot of things accomplished and then was killed because he was a pacifist. But during the time that he was alive,
later though.
I'm sure that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like an expert on like Norse history or anything, but as far as I know, the first Norwegian king was Harald Fairhair, right?
That's
who
right.
lived during the Viking Age.
Right, but I don't know if that's.
And he definitely wasn't a pacifist.
No.
That's how he became king.
No.
He made.
No, but there was a guy who was a. Well, okay, he wouldn't have called himself a pacifist, but he just didn't engage in this sort of level of combat and so forth. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go down a rabbit hole of these things. The pacifist.
Shush, we're talking history now.
Yeah, I know. This is dangerous. I should have been like, all right, we're going to do this.
Harald Fairhair in 850. Oh wow, that's even later.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was he even still pagan, or was he already Christian? Because it's like the big thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Viking age ends with the Norse people, like the
Right.
Nordic becoming Christian. That's like the whole thing, because then they can't do a Viking anymore.
Oh, Hagar, the horrible skinny friend. I remember what he looks like. I have no idea what his name was, though.
Wait, Hagar, like the comic character.
Yeah. That's an actual pacifist thing. Okay. In all seriousness, we should. What if Beowulf is a pacifist? Okay. But before we go any further down this rabbit hole,
Sorry.
I'm going to.
I just really love history.
I know. I also am a big fan of history, but I'm also a big fan of us playing. Who are you playing today, Tari?
Yeah, I'm playing as Ginofifa, who is not a historical figure, as far as we know.
Should have been, though.
Should have been, yes. Who hails from the kingdom of Xanten on the Rhine. And she used to be a follower of the now the artist formerly known as Runzelt, perished in the waves.
Right.
Who's been running side quests for God right now. So that's nice. Together with her group of ragtag misfits.
That's right. Her follower list, and specifically, we're looking at Kapow right there. Let me make that a little bit larger.
I don't think there was anybody by that name in the book.
Kapow.
Kapow.
Kapow. There are the followers, and I should mention that the of the follower group that we have at the moment, I believe that one of them, Rickmod, has been spent. But Yasib and Mundir, Aben Ibn Mundir, and Guy, of course, all of those three are still not spent, which may become important because there may be a little bit of a battle on our hands. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe Genevieve will figure out a way to work all of this through one way or the other. Those are very much main quests. That's true. Probably the gods would not be happy to hear of them as side quests. Don't call what I'm doing fetch questing, even though you're fetching me something.
No, the main quest is to go home.
Yeah, that's right. That's the main quest. And to get that done, we have some things we have to finish. So let me fire up a little bit of music. Let's talk about that because Genevieve has come to this land with her followers. Is this playing? Okay, good. Genevieve has come to this land with her followers on the way back from having solved a problem, the horror at Harrogate. The returning hero was looking forward to being greeted as a hero. Well, to the extent Genevieve is comfortable with being a hero, was looking forward to being greeted as such, except that something funny happened on the way, and that is that a great fog rolled in and basically drove her ship to this strange, desolate land. In this desolate land, she found three witches who are apparently representative of youth and middle age and then old age. And all three of these witches gave her a quest. And the reason for that is that the only way that she can escape this land is if she can defeat this great serpent, the adder, which should have already gone to sleep and has not done so, and thus is threatening to, no big deal, swallow the world. Since Genevieve thought that was probably suboptimal, she agreed, and also because she was talking to literal gods, she agreed to do their quests. The first one involved getting a shiny gem back from Full Anger, an angry dwarf, and sort of...
Wasn't it an orb?
An erratic dwarf, I guess I should say. That was the first thing. Then the second quest sent her off to solve a land dispute between one elf-like character. Who do I still have him here? I do not. Yes, I do.
Kinnefrith.
Well, there's Ilstan and Kinnefrith. That's what it is. Yes, Kinnefrith and Ilstan. And to save the children. Like I'm doing all this, chat. It's very impressive. To save the children so they don't wink out of existence, she managed to convince Kynefrith to help Ilstan, and did this by defeating a boar, Bristleback the boar, who it turned out was actually a transformed drunkard farmer that the boar had sort of transformed into and basically vomited up in front of Genevieve, which meant that everyone got some good food to eat from the carcass of the boar and also managed to get a farmer back and solve the problems between the two of them, and so resolved this land dispute. But the final quest was the...
I have to say,
Sure,
I find it funny that you say an elf-like creature. No, a literal elf.
Literal elf.
But in the historical sense.
That's what I meant.
In the
Yeah,
folkloric
exactly,
sense,
exactly.
Not in the fantasy literature
Exactly.
sense.
Not in the Legolas, riding Trunks, Oliphant Trunks down in the film version. So all of that happened, and now we are on the third and final quest, which is the quest for the most ancient of the witches. And it is a very simple one. There is a spear, an ash spear, which is magical, which has been stolen from this oldest of the witches. And she has demanded that it be returned to her from a bandit known as the Wolf Head. So Genevieve went into the trackless fen, known as the Dead Fen, managed to get through some serious issues with insects, with treacherous bogs, with terrible conditions, and has now made her way to a large tussock. I just love that word, tussock. Has made her way to a large tussock, and has found herself facing, ding, 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 3 bandits, which are actually 4 bandits, really. 2 bandits plus Wolfhead, who is this main guy that you can see here, who has stepped forward and demanded answers as to why Genevieve is here. And you will note, chat, that the Wolfhead here is bearing a weapon, and the specific weapon that he's bearing, wow, my print book, I opened right to the page involving him. That's a good sign. I don't know if it's a good sign for Genevieve or for him, but we'll find out. Yeah. But you can see that he is holding this headless. It's basically just a pointed stick, really. But this headless ashen spear, this grayish ash haft that you can see. He has an axe in one hand and a spear in the other. And so when you have come up onto this tussock with your followers, these bandits are facing you down and kind of glaring at you. And the wolf head stepped forward and said, "What are you doing in my land?" And that was, I think, where we left it. So I'm going to hand things back over to Genevieve now. You can see the spear. You can see that he has it. What would you like to do?
So first of all, Genevieve stepped forward alone. Her followers are hidden.
Okay, right.
And because, Misty and stuff. Genevieve steps forward and proclaims, hello. Was quite difficult to find you. I assume one of you is whom they call the Wolfhead?
And the 2 bandits, one with a regular spear, one with the axe, kind of look at each other and then look back at the one with the antlers, the deer skin and all of that. Yeah, exactly. And holding the axe and the spear. And he says, well, now that would be me. I don't know why you've come to find me, though. It's supposed to be hard to find us. We have no intention of being found. How you got to us is a matter of... well, we can work that out later. Why are you here?
Well, first of all, hello, I'm Genevieve. I assume you have heard or maybe even seen that giant serpent that haunts this land?
And they sort of grumble and then look at each other, and the wolf head says, "We've seen the snake slither by, yes. Why?"
So I was given reason to believe that this snake is responsible for keeping the sun from setting. I was tasked with dealing with this serpent to make sure that the sun does indeed set again. However, I was also told that the only thing that can harm it appears to be that weapon you are holding.
And the wolf head sort of kind of narrows his eyes and then looks over at the spear and then looks back at you and looks at his followers, the two bandits, and they sort of grin, and he smiles, revealing a row of yellow broken teeth, and says, well, you are thinking yourself about weapons, I suppose. Who's to say that anything could harm that thing? It's beyond any of us. It goes its way, we go our way. And this weapon of mine, well, why would I want to harm it even if I could? Gets this cunning look in his eyes.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to harm it either. I kind of more want it as a contingency plan, in case things go south.
And he says, well, I'd love to help you with your contingency plan, but you see, well, my warriors and we've got some contingency plans we need to hold on to as well. It's a dangerous swamp here, isn't it, boys? And they kind of nod. It's dangerous. Why, no one knows who could be found just on their own, isolated out here in just a little small bit of grass amongst this stinking swamp. So, we can't give up our weapons. We might need them in case strange people come up challenging us. We need to be able to protect ourselves.
I would be willing to trade you.
Trade me? What exactly would you trade me?
Let me have a look at my inventory.
No time. No, he doesn't say that.
Also, I got like some random stuff, right?
I'll give you this piece of broken tin. No.
Let me see. I know I got that figure. You had said something about like a boat, right? Like the little toy boat.
Yes, that's right. Do you want to offer him a toy boat?
No, I don't think he would be into that. Like the problem when I write down things in my notebook but not in my inventory list, which are two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have any stuff that would be worth trading. However, what does my money say? Oh god, yeah. This game has like weird money because historically and stuff. What's 390 shillings in like game currency?
Oh,
is that just silver
or
what is that?
Let me check that.
No, silver is in pounds, right? So
yeah, they basically use it as a catch-all, though. Let's see. They're not going to put it under currency. They're going to put it under M for money, I would assume. Oh, actually, no. They might put it under treasure now that I think of it. Treasure.
Or paying your followers. That might also be the chapter.
Yeah.
Not your followers, your crew. Me crew.
Pounds of silver, yes.
Yes.
So, let's see. So,
I'm not gonna sell Guy. Might need him.
sell Guy. Okay. Treasures mentioned pounds of silver. Yes, I know that. Most treasure items range from 1 to 3 pounds. It's been a while since we've had like actual money situation come up for this, so it's why I'm a little uncertain.
Might be because this is primarily a trade-based
Right.
Economy rather than a money-based
Yeah,
one.
it is. It is.
I mean, technically there isn't even money. You just have silver, as in literal pounds of silver, not silver coins.
Right. Let's see. Exploration. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about. I'm going to go to the paying followers as you suggested. Right. Which is 86. Okay. Bear with me for a second, chat.
Where? I don't see any
Right.
bears.
There's a bear with me right here. Okay. Let's see.
Original
So,
joke. Nobody made
40
that one
shillings is equivalent to 1 pound of silver.
before. Write that down. 40 shillings. Equivalent to 1 pound, yeah?
Equivalent to 1 pound of silver.
To remember how to write the fucking pound sign.
It's a little like weird L.
Yeah, but like I also can't ever remember which way it's facing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I have 390 shillings. Then we get the calculator. Teilt durch 40. So I have a little less than 10 pounds.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds what I would expect, yeah.
9 pounds and points, yeah, 9.75 pounds is what I have.
It's okay. I'm looking up something while you're doing that, so.
Yeah. So this is literal pound, which is a little less than a kilogram, I think, right? Roughly, half a kilogram. Pardon me.
Yeah.
So that would be quite heavy. I guess she would offer him 1 silver arm ring, which I guess would amount to, let's say, probably be like 100 grams, maybe, right? Like a bigger one.
I would think.
So I don't like. Let's say for 10 shillings, just so that it's round.
Okay.
May I offer you some silver?
And
she holds up the ring.
And he sort of like, and he looks at it, and then he says, you know, it's interesting. Now we live in a time where it is reasonable for people to exchange goods with each other. And I spend most of my time in the wild, so perhaps I'm not used to the experience of trading, but, it seems to me that trading usually happens where each one gets something from the other, something they couldn't get otherwise. That's a pretty ring you have, bracelet. You said like an arm ring, like a silver arm ring.
1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Big fan of Beowulf, by the way. Not a big fan of the way the book is organized. Sometimes it's a little difficult to find something I would like.
One of these bad boys.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's perfect. So,
it would be less ornate because these things are meant to be cut apart.
Right.
So.
That's cool though. That gets in. He says it's a pretty thing you have there, but you see, I think I could get that anyway. I can't help but notice, and he kind of looks around. You're here, and me and my friends are here, and they all sort of look at you. I think I could get that without having to give anything to you, actually. And you can kind of see the two guys sort of moving off to the side of this not very long. I mean, I don't know. It's not a huge tussock. It's maybe 25 or 30 by 30. So it's not a lot of room, but you can see they're kind of moving to the side of the tussock. They're not in a position to flank you yet, but they're definitely spreading out a bit.
So my followers are hiding, right?
At the moment.
Yes. And I'm assuming they're like listening in, right? Because they can't see shit, they will still
I
be
would
able
think
to
so,
hear shit.
because I think you gave him that instruction.
Because I think that Guy especially would, as soon as he would like notice that something's up, would like start to sneak closer.
I'll allow that, although you would need to make a stealth check for him if you're going to do that.
Yes. He is nimble, so I think
that will help.
That doesn't spend him, if I recall correctly. So just a straight D20?
Then it would be a D20, yeah.
Oh no.
So I imagine what happens is that he starts to sneak closer and then kind of puts his, does he use a spear? Have we talked about this? I assume that
everybody has a spear.
Everyone has a spear, so pretty much. So he puts the tip of his, the sort of the shaft of the spear down, and there's kind of a as he sort of goes down, and immediately one of the bandits, like their head whips over that way, and the wolf head. So you've brought a few more of your friends. Are they merchants too? Why don't you come out of the shadows and the swamp, friend? You're going to be defeated here if you don't act the right way. And so Guy sort of like raises his eyes. Like you just see this moment of him like above the level of the, like this. And kind of looking at you.
Yeah. Genofifa just nods.
Okay, so he stands up. And do you have the rest of your followers at this point? Would they know to come forward once Guy has been, or is it like the Hobbit where you just reveal the once in a while? Okay, right. Okay. Also, one other question because I don't recall. Did we bring everybody, including Rickmod, who I know has been spent? I think so, right? Because
here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we just so he sort of stands up, and the wolf head says,
Why is Rickmod spent? Like, didn't we clarify specifically that she wasn't spent?
No, but this particular time she was spent because she used. I think what happened, although I need to go back and watch the whole thing, but I think what happened is that she was using some amount of her lore or some knowledge to be able to like navigate you through the swamp. She did other things that she was not spent for, but I think this is one where she was, and I think it has to do with travel through the swamp, as I recall. But that was pre-ArvCon, so I don't fully remember.
No, because like last time we had like a whole thing about like, oh yeah, followers only get spent if they do something that they don't have a skill for.
No, that's right. But yeah, I have her listed as spent though because I know there were a couple of things that she did that didn't require it.
Well, I mean, if she's written down as spent, then
I have her written down as spent. Okay. I think. Yeah, and I remember there was a section before where I did not do that. And yes, Tom, these are bandits, decidedly so. So Guy sort of stands next to you, and Wolfhead says, "Well, I see. You're protecting this one, are you? Or you're protecting each other? How much does she pay you? You could probably do better for me, you realize." And Guy...
trying to buy off Guy.
And Guy sort of like stares at you and stares at him and then says, "No." And he says, "Oh, man, a few words. I see. Well, your loss. Perhaps all of your loss. Look, the reality is we have you outnumbered, and even if we didn't, you don't look to me," as he kind of looks you up and down, "you don't look to me like a particularly able fighter, if I may say. Now this one," he points at Guy. I'll get to you one sec. "This one," he points at Guy. "This might be a different matter, but for you, well, I don't know that you're going to be much of a threat." And he kind of like holds his spear. Yes, you were going to say.
Yeah, like because Guy was found, yes, he would take this as a prompt to start moving in himself.
Stealthily?
And try to, yes.
Okay. Let's have you do the same. Now, let's have you do the same thing with him. Now, he is not nimble, right?
Oh, does he become spent then?
I don't think I would. I think I would rule that he's not just trying to make us. But I don't think so. I guess you could spend him if you absolutely want to make sure that he was, but I don't think that's necessary.
That's a 10.
Okay. So that's an opposed roll here. Yeah, Guy, you couldn't afford me. No, her pay is better. No. Okay, let's see.
She bakes really good cake.
It's about more than the money. Okay, let's see. The health benefits are excellent. All right. So
have you seen the dental plan?
It's astonishing. So it looks like apparently perhaps because the bandits are occupied with you and with Guy, it does not seem like they at least openly it doesn't seem like they notice. Who did you say? Which one did you say you were sending?
Yasib.
Yes, Yasib. So you don't notice Yasib as he makes his way around. Now, quick question, just in terms of like layout, is he heading to you're standing in the middle? Let's just for theater of the mind's sake, you're on the southern side of this tussock, okay? The bandits are on the northern side. Wolfhead is in the front, sort of halfway between you and the northern edge, the northernmost edge. And then his two followers the two bandits are spread out to either side of the tussock. So, given that, are you sending Yasib? Is Yasib going up? And a little bit of this is what would you have told him, but I think it's reasonable to do that. Would you have told him to go up to the right side or the eastern side of the tussock, or the western side or the left side of the tussock?
So the idea is that he basically smells that this is basically a lost cause.
These guys do not seem very negotiating.
Yeah, no, and he's like, okay, no, I need to save these guys. And he would grab his bow and arrow and try to shoot one of these guys while they're paying attention.
See.
So he would get into the position where he could shoot Wolf, whatever his name is.
Wolfhead.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, he does not seem to notice. So I would allow you to get a surprise attack in on Wolfhead.
Nice. So what do I roll for this?
So for this, you would roll a. Let's see. That would be a. That would be another. Yeah, because we're doing this outside of combat. Also have to think about if I want him to be spent.
Well, this would basically engage him. So
right, engage the follower, so that would be yes. Okay, so that is a good question. So let me pull up the engage thing and see what I want to do since it's happening technically outside of combat. Okay, right, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Right, activating a follower, which means that we engage the follower. +0. Okay. All right. So then D20. It would just be a D20.
Okay. That's a 14. That probably doesn't hit, does it?
A 14 will not hit. And in fact, what happens is it ends up landing in his shield. So he's got a shield on his back. And the bandit sort of turns, Wolfhead turns, and stink, just in the back and quivering. And Wolfhead sort of quietly, doesn't say anything, reaches his axe hand around and pulls forth the arrow and then says, "So, I suppose we've seen exactly what this barter is going to be like. It's convenient, however. We won't have to bury your bodies." And axe, spear, his bandits, axe, spear. Let's do that thing we like to call roll initiative. It's combat time. Combat time.
Do I just get a +1? God damn it.
Okay.
Her stats are so bad. 15.
Okay.
We get a combat screen, or are we just staying here?
We do not have a map for this. We do not have a map for this, unfortunately. I wish I had a tussock map. Also, it would have been nice. Okay. So let's see. This guy. This aside. Okay. That's him.
It's not letting me add tokens to the map.
It's not?
Nope.
Because there's one already on there. So I see him. I see him there.
No, I was like gonna add the follower tokens.
Oh, I see. I see. I can move that over. Let's see. First, I need to remember where I have your follower tokens. 'Cause I know I have them here somewhere.
I did send them to you.
No, you did. It's not that. It's where they ended up. Oh, I keep doing splash screens. Okay, give me a map. Give me a map. Okay, there we have that. We have that. Oh, okay. I think.
Don't hurt yourself.
Wow, I see how it is. So just come to this. So you have chosen. Okay, let's see. Okay. I've got 2 of these. All right, here are these 2. I've got Yasib and Guy. The truth is, okay, I'm not going to take all the time to find Rickmod because they're going to go on a follower turn anyway. So they all go basically at the same time. So as long as we have them out, then you can just add one of them and I will give you control over these.
Yes.
Controlled by TariToons. And also controlled by TariToons. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so really you can just roll for one of them or, add them to the turn tracker. And I can do that if it doesn't do it for you.
Just a straight D20?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they pretty much always have +0s unless there's a special skill or talent. Okay. So let's add them.
I thought followers just act on my turn, by the way.
No, followers have a turn.
Oh, okay.
But they all go together. Like you can do all of them as a part of them. Okay. And then the wolf head. We don't know yet, but we soon will what his turn is going to be. How about those other bandits, though? The other bandits do not seem that interested in moving particularly quickly.
Oh no!
Seems like
How horrible! I hate this so much.
Yeah, you're really.
Whatever will I do?
You're really broken up at the prospect of.
Yeah.
Of having them do this. Okay. Just to go through here. I don't need any of that. Never mind this. Okay. Right. So. Yeah, I don't need the stats for bristleback boar. I need the stats for bandits. Okay.
While
Okay,
you are trying to
go.
look up stuff.
I got it. Yeah, what's up?
So, like, the other week, when I was watching WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do. Zelina Vega came out in a straight-up All Might cosplay from My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah?
And it was just, I kept looking at it, I'm like, what does this outfit remind me of? Then it, like, clicked. It was like, oh,
That's
yeah,
what it reminds
right.
me
She's
of.
like a nerd. Yeah, like, because it's like a thing. Like, she currently has her hair in the style of one of the other characters. Which is, like, very, very obvious because, like, this whole, like, half red and white is very specifically of that character of Todoroki.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just have that in my head the entire time.
That's funny.
Her just like straight up cosplay
That's funny.
on. Well, I mean that's not the first time. Like many years ago, I think it was a New Day who came out in like full Super Saiyan outfits.
Oh,
You
really?
know, like for Dragon Ball, yeah. Like a whole thing. Or that one time they came dressed up basically as Red Lanterns.
Oh, wow.
From,
I mean,
from DC.
like, let's be honest. Wrestlers kind of are anime anyway. I mean, like,
No,
you know.
wrestling is a form of drag, please.
Yeah, but the emotion is all anime. I mean.
Oh, I mean, like there's of course. Well, now her name is gone. Jade Cargill, that was her name. Who's like just her entire gimmick is just literally Storm from the X-Men.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like actually, literally, like even her theme song sounds like a bit like the old cartoon opening of the X-Men.
Really interesting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
So.
What is this? That's what I was looking for. Okay, good. Yeah, like I was saying, I like Beowulf. I'm not wild about the organization of the product. I heard about this in reference to another prominent TTRPG, and there's a difference between organizing a book so it can be taught to begin with, and organizing a book so it can actually be referred to in play. And the referred to in play, not optimal, I have to say. Okay, but I think I have figured out what I need to figure out. Okay, so first to act is going to be Genevieve,
Me.
which is you. What would you like to do? So again, Wolfhead is in front. Bandits are basically right alongside him, more or less. And you already know that Yasib is slightly off to the side, having fired a bow more or less half in his waist in water, more or less. And then Guy is obviously right next to you.
Let's see. Okay, so I have the feat Desperate Dueling.
Okay.
Well, technically not a feat, a fighting style, pardon me. It's a feat. It's a fucking feat.
Okay.
When you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapon, you gain +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Henceforth, thus. Oh, do I still have Bow's Axe, or did we take that apart again?
You took it apart.
God damn it, I should delete that.
You took it apart.
Sad.
Yeah.
Because that thing was strong.
It was awesome narratively.
Yeah, but you know, I love my character play moments, but I do sometimes shoot myself in the foot with those.
This is great narratively. I'm not going to regret this at all later.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm gonna draw Runesild's sword in that case.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Has Rune? This is not a commonly drawn thing for Genevieve either, right?
Well, I mean, first of all, she's not a fighter anyway.
Right.
And also, even then, the sword is not her choice of weapon. It would be a bow. But
I did want to point out, by the way, well, I was going to say that about the bow, though. I mean, where you're standing right now, you're getting to go first. You could fire at one of the bandits or at Wolfhead, you know, and the bandits are obviously, like, they look like they're, you know, they know their way around a weapon, but they're not the intimidating presence he is. So you could fire off an arrow at one of them if you wish, and have Guy sort of step forward and try to more or less tank them, you know, engaging them. And obviously you have another couple followers in
space
reserve.
For that. I wasn't
yes,
aware of
like
it.
I said, it's about 20 by 20. It's not a huge tussock, but it's big enough. So
yeah, you forget that I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, boy.
Whatever.
So what? 3 feet in a yard. So it would be about 7 meters. I meant. So it'd be 7.
And you go in squares, like in D&D standard squares, which are 5 by 5.
That would be 4. Let's say 25 by 25. So let's say 5 squares by 5 squares.
Okay. Good. In that case, yeah, no, yeah, I would move to the edge of the map, draw my bow, and shoot at Wolfhead.
Okay, make it so. fire away.
That's a 17.
17 will hit.
Yes. 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Damage.
So it strikes into his shoulder. Thunk. Ah! He seems most displeased that you've done that.
Well, I tried being nice about this, but you are bandits, and you did threaten me, so...
Never mind your logic. Yeah, so... I can't believe... Exactly. I can't believe you've done this.
No. You have to do it in an accent. I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
From an old vine.
So, okay. So good strike. Obviously, now, you do have an option, I should say. You're at the back of the tussock. You could more or less step or jump back further, except that doing so means that you're in the water. So that obviously is going to restrict your movement, but it also gives you more space to operate. But again, it's going to restrict you, so I don't want to put you in a bad spot. I'm just letting you know. You're like right at the edge of the tussock as we speak.
I'd prefer not to be in the water, I think.
Okay. All right. In that case, it is your follower's turn. Neither the bandits nor Wolfhead ran particularly well, so...
Can I put my bow away?
Depends on for what.
Like it's an item interaction.
Yeah, but are you to do what? Are you drawing something?
Well, I don't have any more actions to draw my sword or anything. But
right. I would allow you to put your bow away. You could draw your sword next turn.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going to do.
If just in case.
Okay. Yeah. These do not have ranged weapons. It looks like, so it looks like they're going to close on you pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Your followers get to go, so you can now activate your followers. Now you have Rickmod behind you. You have Ibn Mundir behind you, and you have Yasib, who's off to the right, having fired. So he's already engaged with them. So you could continue to be engaged with the followers if you have him engaged with the followers if you wish, so that it's just basically you and Wolfhead.
Remind me what being engaged exactly means.
So engaged means that they are able to take a certain number of turns that are more or less occupying the other people who are fighting. So they would engage the two. So if you activate your followers, like right now, each of them could engage one or two. So if you activated Ibn Mundir and Yasib, that would take care of two of the bandits. The two bandits, not Wolfhead. You could also activate Guy, and then the bandit would be just fighting Guy while you're taking pot shots at a distance. But after a couple of turns, which I have to remind myself as to how many turns, then you have to start making death saving throws to keep your followers from being defeated. And they're spent to do this. But, it seems like a good time to be spent.
Yeah, I think it would be smart to have them both be engaged at the same time.
Okay. All right, so Yasib is going to fire from the right. Are you bringing Mundir up, like jumping up on the tussock, or is like firing away from the left?
I think that Yasib would actually go into close combat instead of shooting.
Okay.
Like draw a sword instead.
That sounds good.
Like he would have a sword. He wouldn't use a spear, I think. Maybe he would use a spear also, but
okay.
Actually,
I'm wrong about this. How many followers have the engage?
Don't they all have it automatically?
Well, technically, you have a gift that is engaging.
Yeah. They all have engage.
Okay, so each follower can be assigned up to 2 opponents in a battle. So what you could do is you could have one of them, like Yasib, who's already engaged, could handle the 2, and then it could either be you versus the Wolfhead, or it could be Guy engaging the Wolfhead, or Ibn Mundir engaging the Wolfhead, and you could like have Guy in back.
I want Ibn Mundir on the 2 other guys.
Okay.
Not.
You mean Yasib, right?
Galib. Yeah, Ibn Galib. I want Ibn Galib with like on the 2 henchmen.
Okay, and then Yasib you want on Wolfhead?
No. Yasib Ibn Galib is his full name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Mundir. My bad.
No, Mundir is not engaged in the fight.
So you're saving... so Mundir is back with Rickmod, basically hanging out? Okay. Okay, so, all right, you can do that. That's fine. And so, yes, it's the 3rd and subsequent rounds that they have to start rolling death saving throws. Okay. So far, this is the first round that they will be engaged. So that means the Wolfhead is going to be fighting the follower. And they're going to be doing that because they're the target of the opponent. Okay, so you see Wolfhead is battling against Guy. And, you know, Guy is obviously a highly gifted warrior. But you notice that as Wolfhead is just, you know, raining blows, axe, spear, right? Guy's holding his own. But every time the Wolfhead hits with the spear and Guy manages to ward it off with his weapon, you see literally Guy's feet almost like slightly sink into the tussock, as if the spear is just, the impact of the spear is just pushing him backwards more than the axe would be. So, just something to keep in mind. All right, that brings us to the top of the round. A reminder also that because of the group of they have a group of 3, so be aware that the 2 other guys are considerably weaker than the main guy. If you were thinking about stacking damage to eliminate the weak, killing the ads before you go after the main or whatever, just, you know, keep that in mind. But top of the round, it's over to you again.
Right. So is it my turn now?
It is your turn. Yep, top of the round, your turn.
They not attacked?
Say again.
Do
He
they
did.
not attack?
Wolfhead. They're
just
engaged with your followers. No, they haven't missed. They're engaged with your followers, but it's not an attack roll in that situation. They're just battling away.
No, okay, in that case, yeah, since like now the situation is clear, I'm getting my bow out again and get shooting.
Okay.
Shooting, rootin', McTootin'.
Who are we shooting? Bandits or Wolfhead?
Wolfhead.
Okay.
But I don't have. Do I have multiple attacks at this point? I don't think I do. Do I?
I don't think you do, because you're level 4. So I don't think you do. You also don't have any inspiration points. Although, chat, inspirations have been renewed for the month. So if you wanted to help Genevieve battle this freaking deer skin wearing antler guy
Who would
jerk.
do such a thing? Weird.
Yeah.
Weird central fashion.
Exactly, Persistent. Anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, I shoot Wolfhead. And while she's knocking the arrow, she's like asking, why is your name Wolfhead and then you wear antlers? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Imaginary Exponent is redeemed in Arvanon Inspirations. That's a good point. I do have 2 of those. I do have 2 of them, so that's used one of them. So Imaginary, are you going to inspire Genevieve in her shot? She is not throwing away her shot. I just want to make sure that's what Imaginary is doing. Okay, so Imaginary...
Hey,
thank you, Imaginary. All right, you have been inspired, Genevieve, so you can fire away.
I think I want to save that one, though. Because I do get quite a nice bonus on this anyway, and I think I want to... If at any point I need to go into close combat, I think I want to save it for then.
Gotcha. Okay. Exactly, Prince Justin, yeah. We have 1 more of those left if people have channel points and they want to use it for the month.
17.
17 will hit, yep.
That's 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage, okay. Strikes him again. I like the idea that it's on the other shoulder just for balance. You know.
Symmetry is important.
Yeah. He's trying to deal with that, but in the meantime, Guy is like, whoosh, you know, wailing away at the guy. Okay. Oh, thank you for the motivational quotes bit. You can do it. I believe in you. You're a good person. You deserve good things. I'm sure those are also helping. Okay. And you're staying where you are, Genevieve, on the tussock?
Yes.
Okay. All right, follower turn. So, again, Rickmod and Mundir are hanging out in the back. Guy and Yasib are battling away. The bandits now have gone over, and basically Yasib, who has just clambered up onto the edge of the tussock and is now, like, you know, sort of with a scimitar, I would assume. I don't know if we discussed that, but is battling off the 2. He's doing it, but there are 2 of them, and that's gonna be hard for him to hold off too much longer. Meanwhile, Guy is battling against Wolfhead, who seems even angrier now that he's been hit not once but twice. And he's just like, sting, 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 sting. And you can see that he's starting to maybe labor a little bit. Guy may be starting to run into a little bit of trouble here. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, that brings us up to the top of the round with Genevieve again. Now, on this round, remember, after this round, or starting this round, I should say, is when we have to start making death saving throws. unless you pull your followers out. But again, if you do that, then you've got all of them on you. So you have to be thinking about how you want to do this.
How badly hurt does Wolfhead look?
Meh. Not that hurt. Definitely struck twice. You've definitely drawn blood and done damage, but he does not look that close to death.
Oh, I need to mark off my arrows. Keep forgetting about that.
Emotionally hurt. I mean, maybe Dragon.
I'm not sure this guy has emotions.
Yeah. Well, they're all one way, and they involve anger.
Has one emotion. Yeah, I'm gonna keep shooting. That does not hit.
It does not.
Yep.
I assume you were shooting at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume that the other guys also don't have a malus to their armor class, do they?
What do you mean? Like?
Yeah, because like the standard is 10, so.
In terms of like what they? Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, now the bandits do have their own AC, but no, your followers. It's sort of abstracted in the whole battle against it thing.
No, I mean like, a 7 would maybe hit on, I don't know, a sleeping.
Oh, on
a
right.
sleeping sick dog or
Correct.
something. I don't know.
Correct. It would not have hit the bandit if that's what you mean. Yeah. It would not have done that. Okay. So, let's see. So, just as a note, on the third and subsequent rounds, follower must make a death saving throw at the end of the opponent's turn. If they were the target of the opponent, at the end of a round, a follower can disengage from the opponent, becoming spent, and another available follower can then use this ability to engage that opponent. So, after this, you could have Mundir jump into the fray to take over for Yasib, for instance, and then Yasib would be spent but wouldn't be making death saving throws, and Mundir would have another 3 turns, more or less, to be engaged with these before he has to start rolling death saving throws.
Right.
So having said that, they are warding them off, like sting, 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 sting. And so now we need a saving throw from both Mundir, from Yasib, I beg your pardon, and from Guy, because both of them are the targets of their opponents. So you'll need death saving throws. Now, death saving throw, you can inspire for this or be inspired, but it is a 10 or above, just like a regular death saving throw would be. And if you make it, then you can continue to fight. If not, then they're actually going to go down, and they will be...
But are they going to be dead?
They will be unconscious. And that could be an issue if later on, if you were to fall and the fall, you know what I mean? Like, so.
But they're not going to be dead.
No, but if you fall, like as if knocked unconscious, they could become dead.
Okay. Right. Rolling for Yasib and rolling for Guy. Oh no. He's down.
It kind of fits though. I mean, so Yasib is able to do it. Do you want Yasib to disengage and to have Mundir jump in, or do you want Mundir to jump in for Guy?
Yes.
Well, do you... my question is...
Mundir and Yasib are going to switch.
Okay. So Yasib jumps in, Mundir jumps in, Yasib is out. Yasib is now spent. Now Guy falls as he's just like... It's like through his, he gets more and more tired, and eventually the spear just goes through and impacts him. Very, Frodo hit by the cave troll, type of thing. So let me make a note about that. All right. So Guy is spent. Okay. All right, and Yasib is spent. Okay. So that leaves us with Mundir. And Rickmod is there, but Rickmod has already been spent. Okay, so now we have to decide how you want to handle things with the remaining bandits, because now as we get to the top of the round, what do you want to do with, because the 2 bandits are on Mundir. Wolfhead still doesn't look that hurt. So what do you want to do?
Oh god, I don't know. Is like while holding a ranged weapon, do I generate do I take like more damage or whatever from melee attacks?
You would be at disadvantage if you were
Disadvantage,
attacking if you were attacking someone up close. Yes.
Oh, but they don't get advantage on me.
No.
Oh, okay. In that
No.
case, I'm gonna shoot one of the other bandits.
Okay. Okay, and you're going to take... He actually hasn't moved up to you yet, so you have 1 turn to basically do that, and then he will... Wolfhead clearly is going to come up to engage you, at which point you'd be taking the disadvantage. But right now you're at regular, so you're firing at one of the bandits. And it doesn't matter, because both of them are firing the same guy. I guess just for the sake of, I don't know, my sanity, are you going after the guy with the axe in that picture on the Twitch stream, or the guy with the regular spear? They're about the same in terms of like quality, health, etc.
X.
Okay, axe guy. I asked you a question. All right. Oh man, that's 7.
Right. And then I'm gonna move as far away from Wolfhead as I can.
That means either getting in the water or staying where you are, because you're right on the edge already.
Okay. Then I stay where I am.
Okay. All right, followers. Mundir is still there, so holding his own for the most part against these 2. But Wolfhead now steps forward and is going to attempt to attack you. But that's a terrible roll. Let's see.
Oh no.
That's a 13 total.
That does not hit.
Okay. All right. So let's see.
Wait. Is that already counting my shield?
I don't know, is it?
I'm gonna double check. No, I don't think it is. The armor plus helmet gives... No, it's without the shield. Okay, yeah. With shield would be 17. Never mind. So, yeah, it doesn't hit.
Okay. Okay, so you managed to ward him off, which brings us up to the top of the round again. This is the second round Mundir is engaged, so you don't have to do death saving throws yet. So Wolfhead is not up to... Well, no, he is up to you because he engaged you last turn. So he's now in melee range of you. So now you can basically step over to the side and fire at one of the bandits, but now you're going to be doing it at disadvantage because you have a person in melee range of you. So the question is, do you want to take disadvantage on your ranged thing, or how else do you want to handle it?
I'm with my back to the water, right?
That's right.
And Wolfhead is standing in front of me, right?
Yes, that's right.
Can I drop my bow and try to like judo toss him into the water?
I mean, you can.
I can try.
Judo tossing, though, I'm going to let you roll right now. That's going to be very hard. He's huge relative to you.
But in judo.
Wait, you use his... I know.
No,
I wasn't aware that...
Weight and height.
This is... We're learning new things about Genevieve. I was not aware that she was...
German
the Bruce Lee of... yeah. I wasn't aware. I mean,
Bruce
yeah,
Lee
you could certainly make an attempt to do it, but I'm just letting you know it's going to be very hard to do.
No, in that case, I'm just gonna drop my bow on the floor, draw Runesil's sword.
Okay.
And then gonna slash at him.
Yes, judo does give the thrower advantage and their weight against the foe dragon spear if said person is trained in judo, and I'm pretty confident Genevieve sort of missed that part of her,
No, they have a judo school in Xanten.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, modern Xanten, not...
I was going to say, back then, strangely, this was the first and only judo area in all of Scandinavia in
that's
this
not Scandinavia, that's northern Germany. Well, western Germany.
Western Germany, beg your pardon. Pretty sure they didn't have judo there either.
On the border to what is now the Netherlands. So, like, technically it's already, like, the Netherlands, like, not the country, but, like, the lowlands.
Not places where judo schools were found either. is what I'm saying.
How would you know? Have
You
been
weren't there.
You weren't there.
All right. So go ahead and roll your attack here
him.
against.
And because I'm only holding one weapon, I get a +2 on my roll.
Oh, by the way, don't make your roll yet. I do want to note you could, if you want, disengage from him because there's enough room around the tussock that you could basically disengage, step forward 5 feet, and be in range of those other bandits if you wanted to take a melee slash at them, because they are obviously easier targets.
No,
I'm just letting you know.
I can't disengage and attack in the same route.
You can.
I'm not a rogue.
You can. That's not true. Yeah, because disengaging is a movement. It's just using your entire movement to do that. It's 5 feet, but you're already on a very small area. So moving 5 feet forward, you'd be pretty much within melee range of those guys. It's a movement. So you could do that.
I don't want to, though.
Okay, that's fine. Then just let you know. We just haven't found them at archaeological sites. Yeah, sure, Tom.
Yeah.
See,
look, they don't use weapons in judo. So what kind of artifact was they leave behind?
I found a black belt.
So +2, so that's a 17. That hits.
17 will hit, yes.
Or is that a +2 to damage? Let me double check.
Oh yeah, that's important.
I get +2 bonus, +2 to damage. Okay, so that's actually a 15. Does that hit?
It's only a 15?
Yeah.
No, will not hit.
Well, yeah.
Does not hit.
Right. That's my turn then, I guess.
Wards you off with his shield. Stink! You can't win, he says, grinning at you. And his now your followers who are engaged. This is, I think, second turn, I believe I said it was, or second round. And so Mundir is still engaging them. You don't have a chance to see very much of what he's doing, but you think he may be getting pretty tired too. Okay, and now Wolfhead is going to attack you. That's not a good roll either. Well, maybe 16.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay. All right, let's see. So that is going to do.
How many shots did I take so far? 3 or 4?
You took 3 so far, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
All right, you are going to take 13 points of piercing damage.
13? Are you kidding me?
I'm
God, I'm
sorry
down
to say I am not.
22.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw because he hits you and pushes his full bulk forward.
I get a -1 on those.
Trying to knock you off the tussock.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you go flying back of the tussock and land in the water.
Oh.
You are currently prone, like sort of sputtering, like trying to stay awake, and he stands above you, laughing at you. Okay. Top of the round, Genevieve. This is the round where you have to start making death saving throws for Mundir. Guy is down. Rick Mod is next to you, sort of whispering.
Yeah, first of all, I want to get up.
Okay,
so
you can do that.
Half my movement.
Yep.
Down to 15. What is, like, how high is the water? What does the ground down here look like?
You're about waist high, so that's like 2.5, 3 feet, I would guess. 2.5 feet, I guess, depending on how tall Genevieve is, somewhere around there. There are a lot of little mini tussocks and, little bits of water and, bits of land that stick above the water. The biggest area is the area that currently Wolfhead is staring down at you from on top of, in terms of the widest amount of land.
I use my free action to put the sword away.
Okay.
Item interaction to pick up a spear, which for storytelling reasons. Like,
spears are always there.
That the spears are always there. In this
100%.
case, the spear is just floating next to me because I was just tossed in the water and it was on my back, but now it's floating there, so I grab it. And I want to throw it at
Wolfhead?
Wolfhead.
Okay. All right. Let's have you make your attack. So that'll be a dexterity roll then, basically. D20 plus dex.
I have...
Because you're throwing, not meleeing.
Does it like allow me to do? Okay, so it's like the same thing, but instead of strength, it goes on dex, right?
That's right.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Immediately get a much better bonus.
Okay.
Still doesn't hit at 12.
Is that a 12? That's not going to hit. Your spear goes up. He sort of, again, with his shield, dismissively knocks it away. And just sort of like grins at you. You used your movement to get up, so that's what you're looking up at. Your followers,
I still have 15 feet left. How far am I from the shore?
Technically, in my games, that uses your movement to get up from being prone.
Oh, okay.
So you would have had a double move to get away. Instead, you picked it up and threw a spear, which was a good call, but unfortunately, the spear did not hit.
Also, like,
and you're right next to the
having,
tussock
like,
anyway.
Always a spear at hand kind of seems broken when you can't throw spears, because I literally have unlimited ammo according to the rules.
That's true. I think, however, that you're in a bad enough spot right now that it's okay that you have unlimited spears. Is it time
what
to
if it's
negotiate?
always the same spear and it's just like keeps plopping back
Just like an automatic regenerating spear, a boomerang spear? That'd be pretty awesome. Okay, so let's see. That was that followers. Okay, I need you to make a saving throw from Mundir now because he is hard put, as they say.
Oh, God. That's an 18.
Okay, he holds them off. He's still there. Guy's lying there, bleeding out. Just kidding. He's not bleeding out.
Disengage.
Okay, so he disengages. He is now spent. The situation is now looking quite dire, Genevieve, because the other bandits are going to be able to, next turn, move up to you.
Yeah, but I'm in the water, so...
Yes, that's
Do
true.
they want to come here?
That's true. I mean, they could probably, like, try to poke you from the land, or jump down into the water with you, I guess. We'll see. Okay, that was the bandits who disengaged.
My cloak is getting a wash now.
Yeah, which it needed. Nothing is better for clothing than swamp water. It definitely is.
Yeah, it preserves it very well.
Oh yeah. No, it's like, and the smell. It's a Febreze, a swamp Febreze. So, okay. So the wolf head, who I was so tempted to have him do a cannonball, but no. So the wolf head, and he. Do I want him to throw the spear? That'd be funny. He throws the spear, it lands in your torso, and you're like, thanks! And you walk away. But no, you're not going to do that. He's not going to do that. So he is going to jump down into the water next to you, and is going to attack because you're not that far from the land. So let's see. God, he rolls. But he has a big bonus though. 15.
That hits.
Okay.
Barely.
Again with the spear.
Unless I once again forget, but on the same number it also hits, right?
That's right. If it's tied, then it hits. Yeah. 17 points of damage. Oh, sorry.
Oof.
No. I'm wrong. Do not listen to what I just said. That's wrong. I was looking at the total that would have been there. That's not accurate. The number is not that. It is 12 points of damage. I apologize.
Still a lot. So I'm down to 10.
Yep. Also,
chuck a healing potion.
Strength saving throw.
Oh, right.
He's using this thing called a bashing strike.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice. Well, is that dexterity save? Oh no, strength save. Yep. Yeah. Nope. You sort of yeah. I will not fall. And he's like, fine. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Okay. Your followers have disengaged. The bandits come rushing up to the shore or to the end of the thing, and Wolfhead says, "Never mind, lads. This one's mine." And so the bandits just stop and look down at you. And that's going to bring us up to the top of the round, Genevieve.
Wanna die?
What are we looking at? You're not prone, so you could.
Not prone. Yeah, I draw my sword again and slash at him.
Okay.
Oh wait, first I use my free action to unclasp my cloak and let it drop down because it's heavy from water.
Especially now. Yep. You do not want this. When it gets to the spin cycle of this wash, it's not going to be good. Okay, you do that. Yep.
Yeah, I draw the sword and just attack him.
Okay.
I keep trying to. Oh, an unnatural 20.
Okay. That will absolutely hit. 100%.
Nice. 5 points of damage because of the +2.
5.
Because I'm fighting one-handed.
He's looking a little scratched now. All right, the bandits are still waiting. He has not called them in. He is now going to strike at you. His ego, perhaps, is requiring this. That and the fact that he keeps hitting you. That's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
That is, unfortunately, Genevieve, that is a 12 points of damage.
I'm down.
So, here's what happens. You are brought down. Now, typically, in a game like this, that might mean the end of all things. It's not exactly how it works in Beowulf. When darkness takes you, and there is the last thing that you remember seeing is basically this sort of like kind of the foul face of Wolfhead leering down at you as you sort of sink down into the water. And when you awaken, you find yourself not in a swamp, but inside the land, it appears, not too far from where you originally met the witches. Your 4 followers are near you. Guy is lying on the ground, and you can see that he is still eyes closed, presumably unconscious. Rickmod and Mundir and Yasib are near you, looking at you with concern. They also look quite hurt, Mundir and Yasib equally. And you sort of gradually come to, and they look down at you, and Yasib says, or Mundir, I guess, would be the one who says, "So, you've not left us quite yet. Are you all right?"
How did we get here? How?
When you fell, Rickmod she did something. There was a cloud, or a set of crows, I don't know. I was already tired myself. We were able to pull you free, but the spear, and he just shakes his head. And suddenly you hear a familiar voice from behind you. And she said, and you hear the voice say, "I should have realized that mortals have nothing they can do except steal and take. You failed totally and completely." And you look sort of behind you to see the 3 women, the 3 witches, and Widwy is staring at you with just this fiery glare.
FIFA tries to get up on her knees and bow down with her head down.
Yeah, you stumble.
Being in a lot of pain.
I was gonna say, because you're sitting at a single hit point at the moment. And she says, "Never mind. I don't need you to grovel. I needed you to get that spear." And next to her, you see the other 2, Megden, the youngest one, say, "Widway, be nice. Genevieve tried her best. It was hard. You know, he took the spear from you, and you weren't able to stop him." And Widway just almost snarls, "Silence, child. You don't know anything about this." And Modor, the mother, says, "Megden is right, Widway. Genevieve did both of the tasks we put before her. It doesn't matter without a weapon. She'll be useless against the thing." And the 2, Megden and Modor, sort of shake their heads, and Modor says, "You don't know that. We know that she has completed 2 tasks that were difficult, that neither of us might have been able to manage. The fact that she was not able to retrieve the spear means that she's human, not a failure. They are one and the same. Good luck to you in defeating the adder. You are not worth my time. And she turns her back. The other 2, though, sort of continue to look at you, and there's clearly compassion you can see in their expressions.
I'm deeply sorry. And she actually starts to cry.
And
looks horribly torn up right now.
Yeah.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, except that's true, exactly. And
sitting there sobbing.
And Modor says, the truth is that although the spear would have aided you, it is not the only thing. A weapon is but the beginning of victory, not the end. You may have had a chance, even without it. There's still an opportunity for you. And she sort of looks down at Megden, and Megden nods and says, "Yes, that's true. That's true. There are ways to do this. For one, well, you can trick the snake. You can trick the adder." And now I don't remember if she gave you the bauble before. I think she did, right? So you still have it. She says, "Do you have my toy?"
And Guinevere looks a bit panicked right now, looks for her backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still there?
It's broken and shattered. God damn it. No, it's not. Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. She's like, get the orb out, and like, sigh of relief and hands it over.
And she smiles and she says, there are a lot of amazing things that can happen, things that can be done to stop a creature like the adder. The first is to make it believe that the day has already passed. Once it believes it, it probably won't be as strong. And as she's sort of speaking, you can see that she's looking at the bauble, and it glows with this bright light. But then as she says, once you believe it, the light in the bauble begins to dim considerably, and all around you, for only a few seconds, but clearly, the light around you in the world, in the sky, which has been this general kind of gray light I talked about, that dims as well for a moment. And you can see all of your followers, except for Guy, who's unconscious, all of your followers are like, look around as they see the light dim. And so she says, this may help you convince the adder that what he thinks is the day is not. And she hands it back over to you with a bright smile.
Thank you. It's just, I wish I would have done better. I tried to talk to Wolfhead, but he was just threatening me in return.
Modor nods and says, it is the way of so many to threaten and preen. It is possible that if he had had fewer of his friends around him, he might have been more in mood to parley, for he is ultimately a coward. Still, anyone who wields the spear is formidable. It seems that your belief in fighting is not as strong as your belief in helping, and so perhaps this will be of value. I can tell you of where the lair of the adder is, exactly. If you are able to proceed on your way, you may be able to find the location of the lair more quickly and explore it before the adder returns. At present, it is still wandering the wilderness, I assume taking joy in its extra time that it spends outside. To the northwest of the peatmoor, the adder has made its lair in a broken barrow. It is a place where the dead should hide from the light, but now that it has been broken open, it ties the world of the living to the world of the dead. In all things the adder slithers against the common order and the way in which things should go. You can only slay this adder during the time of sunset. It will recover from any other hurt very quickly at any other time. And you look over and see Megden, and then like sort of pointing to her head and then pointing to the ball that she gave you. And Moder says, I will give you the path you must follow between the western farmland and the dead fen. I believe if you go now, you will be able to explore it and make your strategy before the adder returns from its hunting. And so she gives you all the sort of details. And I should tell you mechanically, this is because you succeeded at her quest. Without this, she would have given you it's within this 10-mile radius, and it would have taken you forever to find it. But now she's given you like direct to the place instructions. She also hands you over a goblet, and you can see that the goblet has in it a kind of sort of a clear liquid, although it's almost shimmering, it looks like, on the top of this liquid.
Vodka.
And she says, you look like you could use that. No.
Pardon me. No, it's aquavit, because that's what they drink in Scandinavia. So,
but it does.
Water of life.
She says you should sip of this and have your followers do so as well.
Oh, all right. Thank you. And she takes a sip.
So this actually
magic potion from Asterix.
It's right.
She's super strong.
It has two benefits. First of all, it means that your followers are no longer spent.
Ay, sweet.
Now, in Guy's case, Guy who went down, I'm going to say that Guy is still spent, but is up and functional. So like he, anything that was a skill that doesn't require spending, theoretically he could do. So Guy is spent, but the others are all completely restored. The second benefit is that this acts basically as a long rest for you. So since you're starting with a single hit point, it means that you could use your hit dice here. And I believe you have not done that so far, which means you should be able to roll 4 times whatever your hit die is.
I used 1 hit die.
Oh, you did use 1. Okay, so you still have the remaining. You still have 3 though. Times whatever that is. I think it's 1d8 for you.
They said it again for some reason. Why is Roll20 so glitchy? 1d8, I think. Maybe.
So I'm assuming you want to use all 3 on this, probably, right? But correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me have a look at the rules again, because character sheet keeps glitching.
Glitch.
Creating a hero.
I can look it up if you can't find it.
No. In the right chapter, methinks. No, not the background. Where does it say hit die? Am I blind?
When you're looking at creating a character hit points, they should have. It should have what the die is.
I don't see it.
Let's see. It's based on your background, I believe.
Oh, okay then.
But I might be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
Former follower. Nope, doesn't say either.
Okay. You're ox spirited, right?
Yes,
sorry, former follower. I beg your pardon. But also ox spirited. Yeah, I'm looking. Looking.
$1d8? Oh, it's a d8. Yeah.
It is a D8. Okay. Yeah, again, not clear. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll 3d8. I'm guessing.
Oh, very nice. 11. So back up to 12. That's 1.
Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then the other opposite side. All right, so 16 so far.
Yep. Oop. And last one. 5.
5.
Ugh.
Okay, so 21. I mean, certainly better than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now.
okay. All right, so you have that back. Your followers are all up, and 3 of them are not spent. So, and Modar waits as you sort of drink this liquid, and then says, so, now you are as refreshed as one would expect. Now you've been brought a cat. The cat will give you plus 50 against... well, the cat's leaving.
Oh,
now you lose.
now it's unequipped.
Now you have disadvantage because it's left. Damn it. No, just kidding. Okay. So, so you feel... And after drinking this, I would say, Genevieve, you feel definitively refreshed. Woodwee is...
actually is aquavit. Like actual water of life.
Yep. And Woodwee is like continuing to ignore you, but Modor and Megden are still... sort of Megden is smiling at you and Modor is regarding you with seriousness, but not with like disappointment. And she says, you may not have much time left. If you wish to gain an advantage over the thing, you must go to its lair and defeat it.
I guess we should be on our way then.
Okay.
Do I still have my bow? Because I did have it not on my person when I fell.
Yes, they got your bow. They
Okay.
brought it back. It helped that you were helped a little bit by the sort of conditions of the water, the fact that the water was there and it was able to sort of drive them out. And you had hit several times Wolfhead and done some damage to him, but he was pretty tough, as we discussed.
No shit, Sherlock.
He was
didn't
kind of
notice he was tough.
He was kind of a hard guy. Okay. Okay. So, if you head up into the peat more, and let me just quickly make sure that
Peat Moor as opposed to the John Moor.
Exactly. Or
the Mark Moor.
That's right. Okay. So, give me the main map. Okay. There we go. That is up this way. Okay. So that actually is up in this direction. I will shift this a little bit left so Jack can see it. That is up in this direction. So if you are heading up that way, you should be able to get there pretty quickly. And as you're making your way up, the landscape, as you're moving, I should ask that first. You are heading up that way, I assume?
Yes.
With your people. So as you head up into these sort of like the foothills, which is what it looks like as you're getting close to that area, the landscape changes from this rich brown earth to cold gray stone. And the wind becomes ever more fierce as you make your way further up. And
I wonder if there are any secrets in this Evermore.
I
Get it?
I see what you did there.
Do you get it?
Nevermore. As you climb out of the plain of the moor up into the crags that surround this barrow, you can feel the wind really starting to blow, and really starting to kind of like, there we go, be more noticeable as you go up. It obviously gets much less humid as well. But there's another sound too, which is, yeah, there's a little bit of the caw, caw. There's a little bit of that. But as you're making your way through the narrow passes between the rocks, you are also aware of a
He is done. Kettle is boiling.
Perhaps. But you were able to get through it, and you don't have to. I have a whole bunch of checks here that you would have to make if you had not succeeded in Modor's quest.
Okay.
So congratulations. So this is why I wanted you to know that it wasn't like absolutely devastating. You basically got 2 out of 3 of them, and it's possible theoretically to get there even if you fail all 3. Although that would make it very hard. You would have had a lot of other checks to do. But because of Modor's thing, you were able to get the information that you need. So after only about maybe an hour and a half of travel, and it is somewhere around mid-afternoon by the time you arrive there, you see the broken barrow. You come up over the hill, and you see this wild, it is wild, but not wild, wide field of smaller mounds, basically burial mounds. And you clearly see the broken barrow because at one time it must have been a magnificent long barrow, a long oval mound, some maybe 300 feet in length and 150 feet wide. So let's see, I think that
massive.
would be, yeah, that basically is like 95 meters by like 50 meters, something like that, like a really big thing. And around its base is a 6-foot high, close-fitted wall of stones. And on top of that, you can see, even from this distance, is a grassy mound. And you can see the center of the mound appears collapsed inward. And the inside, the guts of the barrow, if you will, are open to the sky. All right, see you, Lego Freak. Good luck. Okay, so you have now arrived somewhat earlier to get to this place, which means that you could then now explore the inside of this barrow. There is, I should say, you could clamber up the side of the mound and then climb down into the space, or you could try to find the entrance to the barrow, like the real entrance before the side of it was stove in. So you could basically decide either way what you want to do, what would be easier for you. But you do have some time to be able to explore this place before the thing arrives.
Right. Wait. Either explore or what was the other option?
Well, you would you'd be able to explore either way. It's just whether you're going into the hole, which is kind of in the side of the mound, or whether you're trying to go through the front door, in quotes, which is currently closed, of course.
Where did we hear the noise of the snake coming from?
Echoing all around you. Like you didn't even catch a sight of it this time.
But
it didn't seem like it was. I mean, you don't hear it now. You don't think it was heading home yet.
Okay, so we are reasonably sure that it's not here.
That's right.
Okay, then I guess we go into the mound.
Okay. But front gate or in the hole is what I'm asking.
Through the front door. Because if you watch Zombieland, one of the rules is to always have an escape route. So assuming that the serpent would come back while we are in the mound, we could get back out through that door while it was unsealed.
I see. All right, then. In that case, I'm going to bring us to...
Guido Pfeffer has also seen... has witnessed the very famous...
live action of Zombieland.
No, performance of the great heroic epic of Draugr-land.
Which is hugely... yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay, bear with me just a second. Another bear. Because I'm going to bring a new map on board. I'm going to bring a new map on board here. go. Copy that. Carry the 1. Mm-hmm. Yep. Crop. Save as. Right. Okay. Nope. I don't want it saved in Eberron. Thank you. Like it's saved in Beowulf.
Suddenly, electric trains and Warforged.
Yeah, I was gonna say very different kind of thing. Yeah.
Trying to remember some other things that are quintessentially Eberron. Halflings riding on dinosaurs. That was also Eberron, right?
With that, yes, and they've pretty much had all of that. Incidentally, like all of that has pretty much happened. Like they literally just got done with the whole riding on dinosaurs halflings thing. Yeah, this has been a tour through Eberron for sure. Okay, hold on. I'm just uploading. I'll be ready to do this in just a second.
Did you have any TikTok cameos? Like I know he passed away back in the day, but you know, like little illusions. If you remember TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Yeah. For a minute, I literally was like, "You mean the video service?" Oh, no, we did not have any cameos from him because technically, remember, he was in the Forgot. It is of course an Eberron thing.
No, but he is a Warforged.
I know.
So
it's because I love Warforged. That's why.
I figured he, planescaped.
At some point, could have
the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, no, there's been no cameo from him, but I do love Warforged. And in fact, the thing they have to battle now, they've basically taken out everybody but the Lord of Blades, who's trying to create an entire army of Warforged to take down the people of sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. To take down the people of Corvair. That's what I'm asking for. That's what I meant to say. Okay, actually, you know what? I don't need to do this. I was thinking that I wanted to show this with a reveal area, but I don't actually need to do this because you are going to get a chance to explore this area because you succeeded in the Modor quest. So, chat, we're gonna have you see what it is that Genevieve sees.
Can you please resize my token because it won't let me?
I will do so. Let me just recapture this first, though.
A few years ago, I want to say 2 years ago, there was this new movie based on a true story about the guy who found the Sutton Hoo hoard. And
oh, really?
I'm just remembering that bit, certain bits from the movie.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, the Mournlands, yes. All right. There we go. Wonderful.
We found this thing, and we were sure there's old treasures, and it's probably just Viking, so not very interesting. There's a billion of those. It's and
we
then
see those all the time.
No, holy shit, this is Anglo-Saxon.
Exactly. Okay, let me.
Which, by the way, it wasn't. It's Old English. That's what it's called. But at the time they called it Anglo-Saxon.
Mm-hmm.
Because terminology changes.
I'm going to turn that down to that, and zoom this in a little bit. Okay, so now you should be able to, your token should be sized, relatively speaking, properly. Okay, so here is this inside of this mound. So you're going in the main way, basically, and let me make sure that I had you go in the right way. Yes, so I'll show you the break. So up here is where the mound, up here is where the mound break was. Yeah. But you decided to go around to the front, which is down here. And that, as it turns out, is also broken open.
Okay.
Yeah, there are three huge... is it menhirs or menhirs? I wonder pronunciation. Yeah, I know. I'm asking. I'm asking the native German.
I don't know the.
I think it's. I don't remember. I think we've talked about this before. Menhir, maybe. I've talked to Chad about this before. If anyone knows that, I'm
sure
I'm
there are a lot of men here.
Are there any men here? Men here. But anyway, there are three of those. Two of them standing upright, and then one that's forming the sort of lintel above it. In Zork 2, oh nice, Prince Justin. And there's a passageway that runs into the mound, and then there are a bunch of these crossroads. and passages lead off to branch again and again and again, and so there's this whole sort of labyrinth inside the mound. Most of the passageways seem large enough for a monstrous snake to pass through. Like, you can see there are huge scales. You can see one or two of them like a foot across, sometimes as much as that, a third of a meter, found on the floors of the passage. And all of the passages seem worn smooth by something, as if something has been rubbing against them. Some of the tunnels are smaller with low entrances, and these ones don't have any evidence of the adders passing. All of the passages within the barrow, though, are studded with niches, and in each of these niches is a human, what the book describes as a skill, but I'm pretty sure is meant to be skull, because I don't actually think you pick up a human skill
I am
in each
also
niche.
very skillful. I
Yeah.
have exactly one inside me.
You get a bunch of skills, yeah. Many of the skulls look to be carved or painted, and some of them you can see have like leather thongs, and some of them have animal horns bound to them with coarse twine.
Excuse me? Leather thongs?
Leather thongs.
What?
Yeah. You know,
Is it like underpants?
not like a thong you wear. Thongs,
What?
you know,
What?
like straps type of thing, you know, like straps.
No, I do not know. That's why I'm asking. What are you
Yeah,
talking
some are bound with these leather straps. That's another term for thong. Thong doesn't have to be the thong, you know.
No?
It doesn't involve the song. They're not all like that. Thong to thong. They're not all like that. Also, they're not edible thongs either. Also, hi,
Well,
Big
it's
Boss.
leather, so it's technically edible. It's not good.
Well, okay, fair enough, yes. So there's that. There's also a lot of these niches have, a lot of them have bodies, of course, Draugr, right? And also
Wait, what?
deposits of ancient treasure.
No,
I'm just kidding. I was wanted to see if you noticed that. No. Deposits, but bodies, and deposits of, you can see some silver there. Now, I don't know whether you want to spend the time looking and getting all the treasure, but there probably is some treasure if you wanted to loot some graves.
No.
So, yeah.
is not a grave robber, but I'm sure Guy will snatch something here and there.
Okay. But basically, you have the chance to explore this entire area. So, and if you want, I'm happy to answer questions about the nature of the inside of this thing. I can tell you that a lot of the things look like they're crumbling. Like, some of the passages look to be crumbling and unstable, for whatever that's worth. There's a lot of rubble and stone everywhere to be found within this, as well. And you could also, by the way, set a follower to watch if you wish for the return of the adder. So that's up to you. But basically, this is giving you an opportunity to decide how you want to go about doing this, like how you want to set up for this.
I'm like still hung up on the grave robbery thing because now I'm thinking, since Guy is Christian, is it okay for early medieval Christians to rob non-Christian graves?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Or is that also bad?
I'm guessing it
according
wouldn't be
to the
considered
doctrine?
great, but I don't know. Well, actually, wait. How many Christian explorers raided the pyramids of Egypt? Right?
Yeah, but like there's like being Christian on paper and
being actually Christian.
Yeah. And like at the time, if somebody was Christian, it's gotta be like because they actually fully are behind that. I'm assuming, unless they are like converting for like political reasons.
That's fair.
So
Is the adder a black adder? No, it is not black adder, black adder. No, it is not involving Rowan Atkinson or anything like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, not gonna brave rob. She's gonna like tell Guy not to do either. That's rude. We
Okay.
don't grave rob. The others wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
So
Rick Mod seems particularly like sort of cackling and even more sort of weirdly murmuring to herself than usual inside this place.
yeah, would step in there.
Okay.
Have a look around.
Okay.
I don't know how far I'm allowed to go until something happens.
You can go around quite a bit, actually. Nothing is in your way at the present time.
Yeah, I guess like the main thing would be to keep a lookout for other potential exits.
Okay. Are you leaving any
And-
followers above to like spot or no?
I guess gonna leave even Mundia.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, then like gonna explore. Yeah, main things, looking for other exits.
Okay.
And like of course trying to find the spot that the serpent actually sleeps in. You know.
Okay. If you continue along your path, I would say that once you arrive here, you can
Yeah.
see that this must clearly be where the serpent sleeps. And you can tell that for a couple of reasons. Number one, because of this is where the scales, basically, there's the most of its scales are found here. And there's not like, 50 or 100 of them, but there's a few more than you would find. You found like one scale back here, probably, and so on. But this is where there's a bunch.
How big are these things?
The squares?
No, the scales.
The scales. Oh, they are about, what did I say? They are about a foot size, a foot in size. So, which is about, I think I said a third of a meter, I believe. Because I think 3 feet to a meter. I may be wrong about that, but I think so.
Big anyway. Yeah,
Big.
Actually, if you would pick one of those up.
Okay.
As a souvenir.
Yep.
Doing the Kid Flash thing from Young Justice.
Yeah, yeah.
Souvenir!
So you're going to do that, the Draugr mount. The serpent sleeps tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
In the mount. So that's where the serpent sleeps. Pretty much you're certain of it because of the sort of the rubble around the side, like the rubble here, and whoop, my Roll20 froze. There we go, and here and so on. Those places are places where it looks like the walls have basically collapsed under the weight of some enormous thing, and you're guessing it would be probably the serpent that would have been there. So probably it sleeps there. You think the other exit, the other main exit, is over here, which is that's where the mound sort of fell in. And you think I'm just going to do a little bit of a freehand drawing here. You think probably the serpent's path usually is to go like that to get to the center
it's
ground.
so not thicker than like 7 feet maybe.
Well, right, but it definitely would be too thick. It can't go here, pretty much, and it can't go here, like those thinner areas, right? You would say.
Okay.
God, why is my Roll20 not liking this? That's where there's
like,
a throw
judging
pillow.
that it did not dig itself into the mound, like as in like an entire tunnel, so it's not a digging
You
creature.
don't think so, although the walls are smooth, so as it is rubbed along the walls, it looks like they've been kind of worn away a bit, but yeah, that's right. And there are a lot of unstable sort of walls that you can see down here, partially because of all the effect of all this. So like some of these areas you can see look pretty rubbly and like cracked and sort of pretty close to falling themselves. This is not a very architecturally stable thing.
Yeah, that was like the first thing I was thinking, like what if we just buried the thing under the mound,
We never speak of it again. But yes.
Well, but like also if it can't dig itself out, then we'll just die down there,
Mm-hmm. Conceivable.
But the question is, can it dig itself out?
It's a good question. Yeah,
So what's...
Go ahead.
Can I get like an estimate of how thick the ceiling is and what it's made of?
About 30 feet high, roughly, the ceiling. And
no, how thick?
How thick this? It's a good question. I don't know that you'd be able to tell. It's definitely loose rock, stone, and dirt. It is definitely not stone, that's for sure. The roof of this mound is definitely compacted dirt and loose rock and stone. But as far as how thick it is, that's hard to say. Probably a good maybe 15 feet thick, 10 feet thick. Could be somewhere in there. Maybe 15.
But you did mention that the walls look very rough,
Especially the interior ones. Especially these ones, yeah.
So I'm like thinking if there's like any particularly larger rocks that like if the snake was in the correct position that if pushed from the other side the rock could like, crush it.
Problem is though, that's not a bad idea. The problem though is that like you do think actually I won't even make you do a check for this because you're getting all this time to explore. you do think you don't know that there's room to push a rock onto it, but you do think there are passageways that could be collapsed on top of it. Like there are areas that even the passages it goes through that if you strategically placed people and at the right time when it was slithering through, they, you know, did a couple of pickaxe strikes or the equivalent, you could probably get the roof to cave in and the walls. So there are definitely places where you think you could at least temporarily restrict the adder, or at least keep it from turning around, right? So if you don't know how big this is, but you're apparently very big. But it's one of those deals where instead of the creature going, like being able to go here and then turn around, it might have to keep going this way. You know what I mean? Like going around the circle. So it would take a longer to get back to the part where it could actually attack anyone, although presumably it could whip its tail back and forth or whatever. So you could definitely restrict its movement, and you could probably restrict it to a particular pathway you want it to take, is what I would say.
Right. Okay. So as soon as Genofifa notices then that like certain parts looks easily collapsible and could trap it, like would like order her followers and like also herself go scout out all of these specific spots and like, you know, like mark them on the map.
You can do that. Do you? What I would suggest is, do you have a particular thought about how you're going to deal with this thing? And if so, you can actually mark. Like you could say, you could ping the map and be like, could I try to trap it here? And I'd be like, sure, or no. Or could you, if you wanted to like freehand it, I want the snake to go this way. Can I do that? And I could say yes or no. You see what I mean? Like, give me a sense of how you want the thing to, the plan you're setting up to confront it.
Well, that kind of depends on like which spots look the most collapsible.
Right, but I'm saying like I mean, okay, I'll give you a couple of quick ones here for sure. I'll put them in red. So you're pretty sure that could collapse. You're pretty sure this could collapse. Also that. Let's see. Certainly this and that. That's not in great shape. Wolf. Neither is that. Yeah, that wolf is right next to you and is currently attacking you.
Great.
Just kidding. There's this. And this. And this. And this. And that. Okay. I guess pretty good. Oh, sorry. And one more. There we go. Those are all, looks like, collapsible spots.
Nice. That's a lot. Yep. Sweet.
This thing is not up to code. You know what I'm saying?
No. This entire place is an OSHA violation.
Yep.
A lawsuit waiting to happen.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Mr. Snake, how long have you lived in the place known as the Broken Barrow? I hate this.
Let's see. So obviously the best plan is to like lure the adder to one spot, trap it, and while it can't move, you know, attack it from all sides. Basically, like ideally, probably trap its head and then attack its body.
Okay.
So that it can't bite.
Okay.
But like also not the loose tail, just like, you know, everything in between the tail and the head, basically.
Right.
So assuming like the adder comes from the north, right? So let me grab a pen. That it would come in here. Like maybe actually lure it through here, try to trap it between one of these through axes. And then the guys, like the rest of the party, comes in from down here and here to attack. Yeah, I think that's smartest.
Okay. Okay. All right, so you can do that. Tie it into a bow. That's true. You just have these things collapse. You just wind it around and around, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, damn it. This elaborate battle against snakes. Okay. All right. So your plan is to try to encourage it to come through here, right?
Yeah, basically, Genofefa would be. Oh well, actually, one of my followers is gonna do this.
Oh, great.
Let's say Mundir is gonna like be standing here.
Right now you have Mundira on watch, by the way, just letting you know. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Then let's put Yasip.
Okay. Not Rickmod. She's so dexterous.
Yeah, and definitely does not have the slow feet.
Okay.
So yeah, gotta be there. Then like be like ding 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 ding, and then gonna have a chase after it. And Rigmod can do the boulder pushing thing here, and then I'm gonna be down here attacking. Like hiding here first and then attack.
Okay, and down here you mean like where Genevieve is right now? Like there?
No, where I'm just through the X. Wait, I'm gonna switch tools. Gonna be here, you know, hiding in the dead angle.
I see.
Then the serpent comes through here. Rigmod pushes the wall in. Like, this. One of these.
Can you ping it for me just so I can see? Like.
Well, like, is there like a tunnel here? Wait. Or is there a wall?
There is one, but the thing is, you'd have to wait. Well, yeah, because the serpent can't go through here. You don't think because it's too narrow. But you mean just being on this side and pushing the wall this way, right, into here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It seems reasonable.
Okay.
Okay. And then the plan is to sort of do that, trap it, and then try to attack it, basically from the side. If I.
Can you remind me how exactly the orb works? Like what it exactly does? Like it makes the adder think that it's nighttime, right?
That's basically
but how does it work?
That's right. Ah, well, I am glad that you mentioned it because I have a cool thing I'm going to show you.
Because like now I'm wondering if I not like should like put it to sleep and then just attack it in its sleep.
Yeah, it's less that it would go to sleep and more that it would imagine itself to be defeatable during the time of sundown. If that makes sense. So it's sort of about convincing it that it is weak, and that's when it becomes weak, is when it's convinced that it is. But I'm going to show you something which is I think this is cool. So let me bring this on here. Hang on a second as it uploads. Almost, maybe. There we go. What we have here is a sun tracker.
Oy.
It is a sun tracker. Now, this thing down below, which is this thing, I'm going to ignore because it don't need to do that. But basically, this is nope, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry. Is it shift? How do I cut? Okay, well, never mind. I will not ignore it for the moment. But so as you're dealing with this creature, this reflects that the sun, which starts here, so sundown is here, the equivalent of sundown, because part of the issue is that there is no sundown yet, but like what sundown would be, right?
Yeah.
Each of these phases of the sun will create different effects upon the creature, and the closer that we get, the more likely that we get to a stage where you're going to have basically passed by the time that you could actually defeat it. So more or less what the bauble does is it gives you more rounds of sunset. So you can use it basically at any time so that the artificial sunset could go entirely with the natural sunset, or you could run down the clock until right before the end of the natural sunset, which is here, and then more or less reset the clock, if you follow what I mean. So in other words, you could like run it through
really.
this. Okay, so like 1 round of sun, 2 rounds of sun, 3 rounds of sun. Sun is setting, sun is setting. By the time I get here, the sun is completely down. If you use the bauble, her toy or crystal ball, it will reset back up to 7. So it's as if it continues to be in this twilight state between dusk and nighttime completely. So the sunset is continuing, and it's supposedly weakest during the sunset. So it stays weak as long as you can keep it in a sunset state. Weaker.
Okay.
It becomes defeatable as long as it's in that stage. So
I'm not entirely sure how that works, though. Like, if it can just see the sun outside, how will it know that it's setting?
It's a sensation that it has. This is like a.
Okay.
It's not a world serpent, but it's a huge serpent. It's a mythical beast almost, so it will sense when the sunset exists or doesn't exist. So basically, the bauble convinces it that the sun is still setting, and it is not yet completely set. So that's the point. The bauble makes the sunset last longer. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And it is most vulnerable during the sunset. Does that make sense, Tom?
So it's not vulnerable during sundown?
It's vulnerable during sundown through the end of sunset. So, because remember, you have sundown and then you have the sunset and the light gradually fades. It's in that time when the light is fading that it is vulnerable.
I think I sort of am following. Though the question is, are we starting this boss fight still today? Because it's almost 9.
No, I think we're going to start.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're going to start it in our next one, but the boss fight will be there. So you have, and by the way, I should say, the sun tracker would still be here, but you wouldn't have the ability to slow it down or stop it or restart it, basically, if you didn't have the bauble. I also want another note, which is that you can only use the bauble once. So you can't go 7-1, restart, 7-1, restart. Like, you can't keep doing that. You can only do it one time where it passes through, you restart it. It does it again. After that second time, you're out. So you have whatever that works out to. It's not rounds of combat, but you have 7 sort of segments of the sun setting, plus another 7 segments of the sun setting because of the bauble. It's in that 14 segments that you have to defeat the adder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Confusing.
But yeah. Well, and it's going to be particularly, as I say, you wouldn't have been able to do any of that if it were not for the bauble. And doing Modor's quest was super useful because it gave you all this time to explore. Otherwise, you would have shown up and it would have been at home. And then it would have been like, I would have put all of this in shadow and it would have been revealing the corridors and all that stuff. So all of these things, like with all of the like loose areas and everything, you know that because you had a chance to explore. Yeah. And as you've gone through all of it and you're sort of like taking a look and exploring all of it, you hear from above the sound of, I believe it's Mundir that you had, who says, "I see it. It is coming. It's enormous." And then it says, "I've never seen anything move that fast. It is upon us." And from the distance you hear, and that is where we will end our session for today, because yes, I want us to make sure we have good time for that boss fight. Or boss negotiation, maybe, listen, I don't know, maybe you want to just negotiate with that thing.
Yeah, sure. I'm certain it can talk.
So, Tari, I'm sorry that the combat didn't go the way you might have hoped, But I will say that
I did not dare to hope, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it felt narratively appropriate that wasn't really gonna FIFA's bag. Like, it's not really her thing. What I like about the setup for this, though, is that it means you didn't get that advantage, but you have other advantages from having finished the other quests. And so that gives you something to work with here. And I'm actually really interested to see how your plan of bringing the serpent in, having, Mundi or Yassi be the bait, seeing how all that kind of works. I'm interested to see how that works, and then the damage that you can inflict on it. That'll be interesting to try to defeat this big thing. How do you feel? How are you feeling about your plan? How'd you feel about today, and where will the lovely folks find you next?
I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about my plan.
Me too.
This is gonna go horribly wrong. But oh god, boss fight time next time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the monster.
The past days I've been playing Link to the Past, and like, oh god, I would not have been able to go through that game without like the Switch's rewind function.
Oh really?
Free saving, yeah, too fucking frustrating. Like, my god.
Link to the Past is the one with the Ganon where you have the Is it? I always get that mixed up with Link's Awakening, right? Where you have the sword, where he shoots at you, you use your sword to boomerang it back at him, to reflect it back at Ganon. Is that Zelda?
No, that is Link to the Past.
That's Link.
To, like, boomerang. No, but when you fight Aghanim, then you have to throw his balls back at him. Which Aghanim is Ganon in disguise, but
yeah, fake Ganon. That's right.
Spoilers, I guess, for 30-year-old game.
Exactly. How dare you? Also, Darth Vader's Luke's father. Sorry. How dare you?
How dare you?
Bruce Wayne is Batman. So yeah, so that's what this reminds you of a little bit. You're gonna have to do with that.
Yeah, just like frustrating boss fights.
Yeah.
I mean, though so far, none of the dungeons has been as terrible as the. It's like the Cloud dungeon in Minish Cap. Like, that one was brutal.
Never played Minish Cap. Yeah.
Absolutely fucking brutal.
Really?
That fucking dungeon. Yeah. The worst dungeon in any Zelda game that I played.
Really?
That one. Super frustrating. But yeah, anyway. This was fun, even though I was a bit confused at times. I hope I will be less confused next time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and a bit scared.
It'll be fine.
Sure, it will be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
I was actually interested to see, since this is the first, in quotes, defeat, but defeat in Beowulf at that stage is not the end. Spoiler, defeat against the boss probably would be the end, but defeat...
I was about to say that. Why did Runesild die?
No. Against a boss, that's a whole different matter. And there are ways to die earlier in an adventure as well, but in this particular case, your followers pull you out, right? And it's just there are consequences. There are always consequences. So you're not having the spear is a consequence, since you were at the other end of that spear. So you know what it felt like, and it was not nice. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope Genevieve doesn't die. I don't want to roll up a new character.
No, same.
I don't have any idea.
Plus, I like Genevieve.
Yeah, but like also like she felt like just when Runesild died, it was like the obvious pick to play it to use as a new player character. But like this time around, I'm like, no, I don't want to have any of the other guys as a player character.
Next is Rick Mod, even more weak in combat.
Oh God. Yeah, please don't kill my character.
I'm just balls and strikes. That's all I am. Call them balls and strikes.
Yeah, gonna see how that goes next month, I'm assuming.
Yes, that's right. Although we will be back with no, actually, you know what, Tari? I think we have
5 Tuesdays this month?
We don't have 5 Tuesdays, no, but let me just confirm, because I think we have got... No, we have another Beowulf session this month. We have got... Sweet. So next week we have Fighting Fantasy Gamebook Illustration.
Yes.
And then the week after that is Beowulf, and then I do the Patreon game the week after that. So you will be able to finish up one way or the other, the Witches and the Wyrm. This is the Wyrm part, chat. you'll be able to do after that. So next week, it means you're going to have Fighting Fantasy Gamebook time when we do more Stealer of Souls. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Stealer of Souls. That's also what happens in Baldur's Gate 2.
True.
Oh, I went on a rant today on Discord as to why Baldur's Gate 3 is, even though it's a very good game, it's a terrible sequel.
It's just not connected. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, like it's not even like it's not connected. It's just like it's a whole long thing. I shouldn't start, otherwise we'll be here for another hour. But yeah. Thanks for having me. Good fun was had.
It was. It was always a pleasure, and yeah, and I feel good about I feel good about your plan. Whether it works out, who knows? But I feel good about the plan. We'll see.
Yeah,
how it works out.
we'll see about that. So yeah, people can find me on Tumblr and on Blue Sky and on Kara.app at TariToons. Buy my stuff, look at my drawings, and happy Pride Month, I suppose.
That's right. Yes to all. Thank you, Tari. Chat, can we get some love for the awesome, amazing Tari? And you're going to be seeing more from Tari specifically on this channel in terms of, let's say, things that are used in chat. You'll be seeing more from Tari soon, TM. So be aware that is on the way. But otherwise, great work today, Tari, and we will see you next Tuesday for Fighting Fantasy.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo.
Lovely. Okay. At some point, we've talked a little bit about that with using some of the emojis that she has, Big Boss. So I could imagine that scenario happening at some point. That could definitely occur. Good stuff from Tar today. Yeah, that section with the sunset tracking is a little confusing. I agree, although it's sort of intended to be a bit confusing. And we also had the fact that the fight thing didn't work out the same way. Again, one of the cool things about this though is that I don't think it would have totally made sense that it would work out, right? Because Genevieve is not some warrior like Runesild was. Genevieve is sort of more of a talker than a fighter, and that gives her benefits when she's doing some of that. And it made it possible for her. Think about it this way, Chad. I didn't mention this to Tari, but think about it this way. Genevieve was able to solve that battle between Kynifrith and Ilston, right? The elf and the farmer. She was able to resolve that basically because of her ability to charismatically work with and understand and diplomatically manage. She was able to do that. She was able to get the bauble back from Full Anger, the dwarf, for Megan, the youngest of the witches. She was able to get that back from him, again, thanks to charisma and diplomacy and all this kind of stuff, which Runesild would not have been good at. So she got those two done, but then we got to the warrior one, and she's not really much of a warrior, and so that was not going to work out as well. So I think it makes perfect story-based sense that it actually worked this way. But it was good times, and you will see more of this campaign 2 weeks from today. But next Tuesday, you will see in this same time slot, Tari and me with Fighting Fantasy Gamebook stuff as we continue to play Stealer of Souls. So that'll be a good time. However, I will be back with you folks twice today. First of all, at 4 p.m., I'll be over on GOG.com's Twitch channel playing on Pen and Pixels, playing more Expeditions Rome. So that's an amazing game, and I'm really excited to do that. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, our vocalists will have their monthly Tuesday stream, but tonight we are not streaming voice acting stuff. Tonight we are doing the second half of the one-shot that, which turned out to be a two-shot, I guess, that was done by Zach Clay GMing, which we did the first half of at ArvCon. So it will be Rem Alternus and Indy for his second ever tabletop session, and then myself and also KP will be joining us as we battle against the dread creatures that we are fighting in this our vocalist D&D stream. So that's going to be happening tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Very excited for that. And then we'll be off Wednesday. And then Thursday, we've got Oblivion Remastered. Friday, Community Dungeons and Dragons. And Saturday, more Oblivion Remastered. So a lot of good stuff happening with that over the next few days. It's going to be a fun time. But I'm going to rise up on out of here. I will see you folks 4 p.m. on GOG.com. If you like what you saw and heard, I hope you will follow the channel. I hope you will check our YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord Discord is !ArvCord, Twitter !ArvTweets, Blue Sky !ArvSky, website arvineleron.com. Again, check our Gen GMs show. Zach Clay and I are going to be recording the new long form of that coming up in the next few days, and then we've got a bunch of short videos over there too. So if you want to know more about how to GM and DM and tips on how to do that, that's definitely the place to check out. So you can do that. So on the financial front, !Arv Shop, that's our merchandise area. You can get stuff, again, including perhaps someday soon, some of Fifi, our mascot, on the shirt. That would be really cool. So there's that. Also the Patreon, !Arv Treon, sitting right there. You can get cool stuff for yourself, again, which is unique. You can't get it from subbing to the channel, and you can get it there, except for inspirations to help our players. You can get both with subbing and with a Patreon. So if you support each, you can get one of each, actually, from each of those. So the Patreon really would help us out. It's the financial backbone of the channel. You can also sub to the channel, which gets you other things that Patreon support does not get. So each thing gives you something different. In the case of the subbing, it gives you those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, plus those inspirations that I previously mentioned. So there's that. And that leads us to custom sub badges. Yes, to the publishing stuff. !Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. !Library is my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And we have !Greyshade, that's my Greyshade IP, Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, the Grey Assassin trilogy from Athos Arts. You can get those at that link. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks. You can get that at that link as well, and you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade coming to you from our good friend Brandon O'Brien, The Rising Tides, and from Alligator Alley Entertainment. That will be released officially at Gen Con August of this year. I'm going to be talking more about the lead up to that when we get towards the end of this month. I'll start talking about Greyshade and all the awesome stuff you're going to find when you get that game, including the live Greyshade event, which is happening on that Friday of Gen Con. So you should definitely check that out. Otherwise, though, !Icarus, I already said that. !BLM, that's what I wanted to say. Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. !Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. Yes, co-sign on that, especially since you were never here, Triffid. Thank you. Since you were never here, Prince Justin. So I agree with Triffid. Thank you. As you always say. !Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as you fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message that we will continue to support them, including when they, have a pretty impressive military plan, which they just happened to spring without anyone realizing they were going to do it. Pretty awesome. And so we are going to continue to support them with others in that situation in the future. Thank you to everyone who was here today. My wonderful mods, Dragonspear, Prince Justin, Triffity Mats. Thank you so much. Best mods in the business. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and subscribers. Thank you to Dragon, Prince Justin, Triffid, Bit. Thank you so much to my viewers. Thank you to Blue Phoenix RPGs, Hugo Z. Hackenbush, Effect Life. What's up, Effect Life? Thank you to Imaginary Exponent as always. Thank you to Jagdris as always. Thank you to Parafine and, of course, Speed Tech. And I will see you folks over at GOG.com at the top of the hour, GOG.com's Twitch channel for Pen and Pixels and more Expeditions Rome. And then back here at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight for the second and final half of the Arvocalist D&D one-shot with me playing and Zach Clay as GM. That's it for now. See you folks in a little bit at the top of the hour, and thank you again to Tari for amazing work today. Otherwise, I'll see you folks soon, and everyone please be good to each other. Bye for now. Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure and armor, their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on. Foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar.